Yeah, I want to go over one of the best two-gun setups going, and this is old-time tradition stuff. The only problem is today, Marlin got bought out by Remington, and I heard they just aren't making good guns anymore at all. But I got this a long time ago. This is a Marlin lever action in a 357 Magnum pistol cartridge, and this is a pistol that is revolver that is a 357 Magnum, also Smith Wesson with Hogue grips on it, right? Now, the beauty of having the same caliber is fantastic. Now, the thing is, first off, no confusion, no magazines. You can always top it up over here on the side, and you're using the same ammunition, right? And, you know, it's easier to aim a rifle. These kind of rifles are actually freaking super easy to aim. They're lightweight, they're nice and thin. It's got a fast action on it and stuff like that. It moves quick, you know. It's quick. And actually, I have this little piece on this right here for the thumb, so it sticks out. So I could, you know, in other words, it's a lot easier. That's an add-on feature. In other words, it's a lot easier to get to this because I have this piece on the outside here that's attached to the hammer. I can pull it right out. And the other thing is with the Marlin, and it's only the older Marlins that are the super high quality, not anymore, you know. But the Marlin ejects out the side, right? So you got no problem with, you know, you can put a scope on it. That's the thing. The Winchester ejects out the top, so you can't put a scope. Then with a 357, I forgot how many rounds this holds, but it holds a lot in this tube because they're like shorter cartridges, right? So you got a lot of rounds, and you don't have to worry about detachable magazines. You can always top it up. It's pretty good, man. And this thing actually aims really fast. Just a 4-power scope. Now on the reloading manual, you can load this all different ways too. That's the other thing. Like I mentioned, a pound of powder is 7,000 grains, right? So if you take like something like this, a 158 grain wad cutter, semi-wad cutter, and you put about 5 grains or 4.9 grains in each one, you still got a fairly strong round. This is Winchester 231, and you can load about 1,400 rounds with a pound of powder. 1,400 rounds. And it's going to work for defense. It's going to work for hunting. You know, it's like, you know, these people get into all this specification garbage too much. But if you want, you can load them up a hell of a lot more. You can use like the Hodgdon 110 powder, and you put about 20 grains in there. You know, 146 grain hollow points. You can use 180 grains. And also you have the, there's a couple other tricks you could do with this damn thing. And I couldn't find my reference, but what I could do for a first shot, like I can't feed them all the way through, is I'll use a 35 Remington round. It's a special load in a 357. I think it's like a 180 grain. And it's not, the pressure is not too high on this. It's not too high for the 357 for the rifle. But you can only feed one. You'd have to drop one in the chamber, and you can't put them in the tube because they're too long. But for a first shot, it actually brings the 357 up to almost like a low-power 44 Magnum. So this weapon could be extremely versatile. And when you're using, like, say, 4.9 grains with the one of Winchester 231 with 158 grain semi-wad cutter, just a plain lead bullet, not even copper jacketed, you could shoot these things like dirt cheap. I mean, really cheap. And, you know, the beauty is you don't have to freaking change out the magazines or nothing like that. I mean, you know, you got your, there's your magazine, right? I got the speed loaders for it. And, you know, I like the sling on this, too. This is actually the military sling because, you know, you can wrap your hand around this and you'll get locked into position. So you can shoot from any position really, really accurately with this sling. Believe me, it locks you in like a tripod. That's the way to go. I put a sling on every rifle all the time. But this is actually these older Marlins before Remington got a hold of them some years ago. These things kick ass, man. These are great. And it's a really, really, really slick idea to have a weapon in the same pistol caliber. Now, I know a lot of times everybody chooses the 44. And then sometimes I wish I have a 44 pistol, but I don't have a 44 lever action. But you know, the 357 pistol round is actually plenty strong enough for just about everything out there. And that special load that I make for the first shot, that thing actually is potent as all hell. So actually, you can use this rifle for hunting anything. Yeah, anything, because that first shot actually has in 357 is a very powerful round in itself. It don't have to be a 44, but you know, it's a total pleasure to shoot this, because say you load it down, you put it down like you put it down to like 4.9 grains of 230 Winchester 231 on a 150 grain 148 grain semi wad cutter. It's got very light recoil. It's very light recoil. It's very easy to shoot, and it's still pretty strong, really. You know, I tell you, even a 22 long rifle is pretty strong. And anything that's in a 357 or 38 special range is plenty strong enough too. So, and the other thing is with these lever actions, they're fast. They never jam. And this is back when Marlin was making. This is when Marlin owned Marlin. So Marlin made a really good rifle back then, man. So I have to recommend that if you actually do this setup with a couple levers, I'd avoid the Marlin of today and go with something else. You know, and something else it's a lever. But I like the idea behind a lever action and a revolver. This has been an old West concept, but you know what? It's still good today. It really is. It's a damn good concept. You know, low powered scope too. It's freaking slick. It's reliable as anything. And if you reload, this is a very versatile cartridge, 357, because you use a 38 special. You can load them down with a 38 special. You can use plain lead rounds. You can use exotic hollow points for hunting or defense. All kinds of stuff. The only place you're limited is that, but you know, even with this rifle, this is a 100-yard weapon, no problem. This is 100 yards. You know, that's really about all you really need for most everything anyway. So it's a damn quick firing rifle. Very accurate, very light, very quick to get on your shoulder. And you can get right in that sight picture really quick with this thing. And it ain't gonna jam. That's the other thing. It's fantastic.